Let's just jump right into it. Kay Michelle was recently on Cam Newton's show, um, and she expressed her feelings about the black family and black men. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you all that the black man is weak. And the black man is weak not because he has some genetic disposition or because he is cursed by his creator. The black man is weak because he has an excuse. In fact, the black man is the only man on the planet that has the luxury of blaming someone else for his failures in life. And that has made the black man extremely weak. And as I always say, a man that has an excuse is not fit to lead. But Kay Michelle was on Cam Newton's show, and she was talking about black men specifically, mostly, and talking about them getting married. Now, if anybody has any kind of brain cells and two eyes, anybody can see that the culture of black women in America is deplorable. The culture of black women today in America is deplorable and despicable. I don't care if she has a college degree. I don't care if she runs a business. I don't care if she works in corporate America. I don't care what she does. The culture of black women is horrific. It does not matter her socioeconomic status. It doesn't matter if she's married or single. It doesn't matter. The culture of black women in America is horrific and despicable and disgusting. Black women lead the nation in abortion. 6% of the population, black women, account for 40% of abortions. Black women lead the nation in obesity. Black women lead the nation in STDs. Black women lead the nation in single motherhood. Black women lead the nation in having multiple baby fathers. Black women lead the nation in divorce. Black women lead the nation in foreclosures. Black women are literally, in today, a walking disgrace. Now, I know this sounds harsh because normally we don't hear these things said about black women. I've been taught my whole life that black women were queens, even goddesses. And they were simply queens and goddesses because they were black. They didn't actually have to earn it. I remember asking one time in a video, can another race of woman be a queen? And the majority of black women said no. Then I said, well, what are the standards for being a queen? And they can only tell me that they were black. That's the standard. So we know that black women have been existing in a very false existence because to believe that you are royalty simply based on genetics is insane. But black women have gotten away with that for years, and now we are today where we are. And the black family is destroyed. Now, black women are the least likely to be married. That means that black women have the lowest marriage rate, even lower than black men. 27% of black women are married, 33% of black men are married. And black women have more children than black men. Black women have more children than black men. So, Blanche, what's your point? My point is when we are talking about the black family, when we are talking about relationships between black women and black men, we have to be honest. And the problem, why there's so much clashing, is because black women refuse to be honest. Black men have accepted for years how they've dropped the ball. It is acceptable to get on TV and say that black men have dropped the ball. You will not get canceled. You will not get in trouble. You will not lose any endorsement. You can go on TV, any platform, any podcast, any show and say that Black men need to do better, and the audience will cheer. If you go on a show and say that Black women need to do better, you will not be back on the show and you will get canceled. You will hear a pastor in the pulpit preach about what type of men that women should get with. If you go to a Black church, the pastor is very vocal about what type of man a Black woman should have and what she should tolerate and what she should expect. But you will never hear the Black pastor in the Black church talk about what type of woman the Black man needs to have, what type of standard she needs to meet. You won't see it. You know why? Because he won't be the pastor. And the reason why all this stuff is magnified in the Black community is because Black women run the Black community. Black women are the only matriarchy in Western countries. There's a nation of people in America, Black people, that are led by Black women. How do we know this? Because the majority of the households in that nation are led by the women. But I wanted to preface this video with that. So when we are talking about these things, we have to keep in mind that as much as Black men have dropped the ball, Black women are kicking that ball out of bounds. And again, I'm the first one to say that the Black man is to blame for this, because the Black man, somewhere along the way, did not want to tell the Black woman no. She told Satan yes, but he didn't tell her no. So in essence, they're all serving Satan. If you think about it, it was Eve and it was Adam in the garden. And everything was going well. In fact, it was perfect. In fact, God created a perfect scenario in the garden with Adam and Eve. And in a perfect situation, what did Eve find herself doing? She found herself listening to Satan and disobeying her husband and ultimately disobeying God. Let's continue.
Clock when they're producing, because Black men to really step up for Black women and create families. Well, being in Atlanta all this time and then going to Nashville, where it's predominantly white. One, they go home at 5 and 6 o'clock when they're producing, because they go home to their families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't.
What are Black women glorifying in their music? If Black men are glorifying being whoremongers in their music, what are Black women glorifying in their music? What does the average Black woman talk about on a song? She talks about being a prostitute, a Jezebel. She talks about being very sexually promiscuous. She talks about just being simply ungodly. So again, when we're having these conversations, the only way there's going to be a resolution is if we are honest. So we can't just say that Black men put out horrible music when Black women are putting out the exact same thing. If I'm not mistaken, when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden won that first time, women were outside of the White House singing WAP. These were the same women that said that Donald Trump was wrong for saying that when you're a billionaire, women will let you grab them by the blank. Those same women were in front of the White House, surrounding the White House, singing WAP after Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won. So again, if we tell this story in its totality, it's not going to sound the same. And what you're often going to find with women is that women will often sit in a conversation around not telling the truth, but avoiding accountability.
Can't call a woman a bitch, a hoe in Nashville, because they'll never even listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the black community do our men create real homes? I'm looking at a successful black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on black family, you know? Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, I got to my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
So when you see these women start to cry, just know that it's manipulation. Because she's crying because in her mind, she really wants to say the truth. And the truth is that black women are just as responsible as black men. The only difference is that black men have the position of authority, supposed to. So the responsibility mostly goes to them. But black women lead the nation in divorce. That means that black women initiate divorce more than any other group of women on the planet. Black women initiate divorce more than any other group of women on the planet. So when we're talking about family, again, we have to be honest. And we have to be honest that most black women don't believe in submission. Most black women don't believe in the man leading. Something's flying around. Most black women don't believe it. This is why today's title is The Unfit Wife, K. Michelle. In online dating, black women are the least likely to get picked. And they'll want to convince you it's because of racism, but it's not racism. It's because of the culture of black women. And I've said this before. I challenge you all to go look at dating profiles of all different races of women. And you're going to find something very unique about a black woman's dating profile. I want you to read up on all the other women's dating profiles from white, Asian, Hispanic, all the other dating profiles, and then go read the black woman's dating profile. And you're going to be shocked and amazed at how different the black woman sounds when she wants to date than the other women. Now, I will also say that in these Western countries, most women are feminists. But black women are the extreme version of feminism because they actually run the households in their community.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women. And it's not a cool, they're not creating homes. They're creating babies everywhere. It's not cool.
Now imagine K. Michelle, and K. Michelle is not married. She has a child out of wedlock, and she's had some abortions. She admitted to having an abortion on camera with one guy, and I'm pretty sure she's had more. Black women, more than likely, if you see a black woman out there, she's had an abortion. That's just how prevalent abortions are in the black community. Since 1973, over 20 million black babies have been aborted. So we know it's very prevalent in the black community. But K. Michelle is saying that black men are making babies, but it is impossible for a black man to make a baby without a black woman. This is why when you're talking to black women, it's almost pointless because the conversation won't be one of honesty. It is impossible for black men to make a baby without the assistance of a black woman. And we all know that black women have more children than black men. So when it comes to the dysfunction of what we call these families, Black women have to be honest. Black women have to stop lying, getting on camera, crying, slinging snot, and be honest. I know it's hard for black women to be honest because so much of what a black woman is not real, it's fake. From the hair to the nails, BBLs, all of these things. The black women has fake hair, fake nails, fake breasts, fake butts. Now they got the cheek fillers, the lip fillers, everything fake, but they want a real man. Everything fake, but they have real problems. I know this may sound harsh, but everything I'm saying is true. And you know it's true because the black woman voted for Kamala Harris the most out of any other group. Almost 95% of black women that voted for Kamala Harris. That's higher than the entire country. So again, the culture of black women in America today is quite destructive, and not just for the black family, but also for America.
And I'm asking you, other successful black men, to be, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from. What is going on with the black family? We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there.
So, black women are not strong. If black women were strong, they wouldn't lead the nation in being single mothers. If black women were strong, they wouldn't lead the nation in obesity. If black women were strong, they wouldn't lead the nation in abortion. If black women were strong, they wouldn't lead the nation in STDs. If black women were strong, they wouldn't lead the nation in single motherhood. Like if black women were strong, they wouldn't lead all of these negative categories. So again, even when K. Michelle, and she's a personification of what's wrong with black women, even in this instance, she still is holding on to the trope that black women are strong. It's just not true. And I often talk about the lack of humility among black women. There are 4 pillars of destruction in the black community. The first pillar is black people are emotionally unintelligent. The second pillar is black men suffer from arrested development. They are afraid to grow up. They are afraid to be men. The third pillar is black women lack humility. Black women are filled with pride. You can't tell them anything. And the fourth pillar is that black children suffer from a lack of identity. But K. Michelle is what's wrong with black women. K. Michelle is.
And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful black man in this world going to step in and really create structure? I see white men doing it every day. At what point do the successful black men build black families? We ain't gonna ever have a black family if y'all don't.
So, and I agree with her to a certain extent that black men are terrible leaders. I do agree. The problem I have with the conversation is she's not telling you how horrible black women are. And that's the problem. But I'll give you an example of how horrible black women are.
Close to me die or any men.
Wow.
The center, I once said, what was the center, like, of my pain, of my life? I didn't have anybody, knock on wood, no one close to me die or anything like that. Everything that I've gone through has been because of lack of self-esteem and men being in the middle.
What do you mean? Like, explain that. Like,
I don't think men are good people.
Few moments later.
Whoever cheated in a relationship.
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
So you heard K. Michelle.
I don't think men are good people.
She said, I don't think men are good people. She went viral for this a couple of years ago. And then he asked her, have you cheated? She said, yes. So again, K. Michelle is what's wrong with black women. This is what's wrong with it right here. Imagine her saying that men aren't good people, that the center of her pain has been men causing her the pain, but then admitting to the world that she also has cheated on men as well. How many men has K. Michelle done wrong? How many men has K. Michelle traumatized? How many men has K. Michelle hurt? How many men has K. Michelle done wrong? She'll never tell you. You know why? Because the conversation doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound the same because guess what? She will be being held accountable.
This wall, and if you're not going to, I'll put up this wall, and if you're not going to climb it, then you need to stay on the other side of it. I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing but my bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no submission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have missions.
So that's Derek Jackson right there. Derek Jackson right there. So of course he's going to agree with her, but we know how his story turned out. But black women love Derek Jackson. All you have to do is just look at and see, who do black women follow? Who do black women listen to? Say everything you need to know. But you heard K. Michelle right here. She says she's not willing to submit until a man has a mission. She'll submit to a man with a mission. But then she also might cheat on said man as well. So based on what she said, I have a wall that the man has to climb. This is why black women are single. This is why black women are not married. Listen again. This is why.
I'll put up this wall, and if you're not going to climb it, then you need to stay on the other side of it. I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing but my bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no submission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have missions.
So the question is, for you black women and K. Michelle, if these men are so bad, why do you all keep procreating with them? It's funny to me that you won't submit to the man when it comes to character, but you will submit to man when it comes to your womb. I find that quite disgusting. You won't submit to him when it comes to your character, but you will submit to him when it comes to your womb. This is why you should not listen to black women. This is why you shouldn't listen to them, because most black women agree with K. Michelle. Most black women listen to K. Michelle. It doesn't matter their socioeconomic status. It doesn't matter their political affiliation. Most black women think the same when it comes to black men, when it comes to a household, when it comes to submission.
Right now, black men.
Have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes, that's all I would like to do. White men love me. Like, white men love me.
12 seconds later.
So I'm asking right now, black men, I got to my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women.
Oh, so K. Michelle wants you to know that white men love her, but she's not married to a white man. Most of the white guys that marry black women, they are liberal white men. They are left-leaning white men. Most conservative white men don't marry black women because it's the pool is too small. I venture to say that the least likely to be a conservative, if it was a person, is the black woman. You will be hard pressed to find a conservative black woman in America. You will be hard pressed to find her. So most white men that marry and date black women, they are usually liberal, left-leaning white men. So the point of today's video was just to highlight the hypocrisy that you are going to find with black women. The solution for black women is for black women to sit down somewhere be still, and open that Bible up. That is the only solution I have for Black women, is to go home, sit down, and be still. Black women want to be the boss chick. Black women want to travel. They want to get to the bag. They want to be seen. They want to get that hair on they. Black women want to do everything but sit down and submit to God. And that is my solution. Dear Black men, I would advise you that if you want to marry and procreate with a Black woman, you are going to have to vet her. You are going to have to put her through a boot camp. I'm just telling you. You cannot take what she says at face value. Dear Black man, you are going to have to put her through the fire to make sure that she is worthy to be the wife and mother of your children. Most Black men you see today are prisoners of war of Black women because most Black men were weak and they got with a Black woman and she runs the household. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what it looks like on Instagram. I don't care what it looks like in public. I don't care about none of that. When they go to that house, she runs the house. So I thank you all today for listening. Just remember that K. Michelle is what's wrong with Black women. Thank you.